There is a hidden architecture behind everything you call real, not just spiritually, but mathematically. Because here is the wild part. Modern physics says the universe may require extra dimensions to even make sense. Banned ancient metaphysical systems say your soul is moving through densities of consciousness like notes through an octave. So what if ascension isn't fantasy, but a shift in the coordinate system of your awareness? Today I'm going to show you a map, a bridge between string theory and spiritual densities, and then I'll give you practical ways to identify what state you're in and how to align upward. Welcome back, family. If you're here, it's because something in you is waking up, not just curiosity, not just interest. A pressure, like your reality is too small for what your spirit knows is true. Today's teaching is called The Architecture of Reality, Higher Dimensionality, Consciousness Densities, and the Mechanics of Ascension. And I am going to hold two truths at the same time. Physics speaks in dimensions as coordinates, metaphysics speaks in densities as levels of consciousness. They're not identical, but they rhyme, and the rhyme is the message. In physics, a dimension is an independent coordinate needed to locate something. We live in what you could call 4D, three spatial directions, and time. But unified theories, especially string theory, say 4 dimensions aren't enough to hold the full equation, and this is where it gets mind-bending. Why 26 dimensions show up? Early string theory, bosonic string theory, needs 26 dimensions for the math to stay consistent, not as a belief system, not as a vibe, as a requirement so the universe doesn't produce ghost states, unphysical nonsense. Meaning, some models say reality needs more axes than your senses can detect, or else the blueprint collapses. The shift to 10, then 11. When supersymmetry enters, connecting matter and force, the number reduces 10 dimensions. And then later, the deeper unifying model emerges on dimensions in what's called M theory, where strings expand into membranes, brains, fields of structure. Why we don't see them? Because they may be compactified, curled up so small you don't have to perceive them, like hidden loops in the fabric of existence. And the shapes theorized to hold those hidden dimensions. Calabi-Yau manifolds, complex geometries that, according to the model, influence the properties of the particles you experience. Now listen to this spiritually. If the hidden geometry shapes the particles, then reality is literally being generated by an invisible design. Physics calls it geometry. Mystics have always called it source code. Now let's dive into densities versus dimensions in the metaphysical view. Metaphysical systems often say dimension when they really mean density. So here is the clean distinction. A dimension is the framework of perception, the where and how it's mapped. A density is the frequency of consciousness, the how refined, integrated, and unified you are. Think of it like this. Dimensions are the landscape. Densities are the air you breathe inside it. You can be in a 3D body, but anchored in a more expanded state of consciousness. That is the octave of consciousness. Let's dive into densities versus dimensions from the metaphysical view. Metaphysical systems often say dimension when they really mean density. So here is the clean distinction. A dimension is the framework of perception, the where and how it's mapped. A density is the frequency of consciousness, the how refined, integrated, and unified you are. Think of it like this. Dimensions are the landscape. Densities are the air you breathe inside it. You can be in a 3D body, but anchored in a more expanded state of consciousness. So, what is the octave of consciousness, first to eighth? Many teachings describe consciousness like a musical octave, 7 steps, with the eighth as both completion and new beginning. First density, elemental beingness, earth, water, fire, air. Second density, biological life, growth, instinct, group motion. Third density, self-awareness and the choice, service to self or service to others. Fourth density, love and understanding, separation begins dissolving. Fifth density, light and wisdom, precision, manifestation, clarity. Sixth density, unity consciousness, love and wisdom balanced. The higher self is described here. Seventh density, gateway to total oneness, identity dissolves into source. Eighth density, completion, return to the one, and seed of the next octave. Some models extend beyond into galactic and universal consciousness, but the key for you right now is this. Ascension is not going up as a location. It's refining the frequency of your awareness. Let's demystify the fifth dimension in a way that actually helps you. So, what is the 3D versus 5D? 3D is usually experienced as struggle, linear time, identity attachment, fear-based reactions, separation, and competition. 5D is experienced as unity, presence, coherence, faster manifestation, emotional transparency, inner sovereignty. Time changes shape. In 5D awareness, time feels less like a river and more like an ocean. Not one moment at a time, but many moments available, and your resonance selects what you experience. Here are markers of 5D states. Here are some signs you're touching 5D consciousness, unity consciousness. You feel interconnectedness, not just believe it. Rapid manifestation. Thoughts and intentions reflect back faster. Telepathy. Energetic honesty. Not comic book mind reading, more like heart-to-heart knowing. Deception becomes exhausting. Sovereignty. Praise doesn't inflate you. Criticism doesn't break you. You become centered in the higher self. And when you rise towards 6D and 7D, many describe reality as increasingly geometric, like you begin sensing the structure beneath experience. A harmony matrix, fractal order, soul plan geometry. Let me free you with this. Most people aren't in one dimension all day. They wobble. You can have a 6D vision in meditation, then get cut off in traffic and react in 3D fear. That doesn't mean you're fake. It means you're integrating. A powerful sign you're moving into higher states is this: an insatiable desire to eliminate what S false. B false relationships, false masks, false living. Your spirit starts rejecting what your ego used to tolerate. That is not destruction. That is purification. Now we get practical. Ascension is described as vibrational alignment, a blossoming of the soul, not an escape from Earth. 1. Vibrational hygiene. Your frequency is shaped by what you repeatedly consume: emotions, media, relationships, environment, self-talk. So your first practice is cleaning the signal. Emotional alignment. Simple method. When you feel low, don't force love and light. Climb the ladder honestly, from despair, anger, frustration, neutrality, hope, appreciation, and joy. Even moving from fear to neutrality is a dimensional upgrade. 2. Forgiveness and karmic release. Forgiveness is not saying what happened was okay. It's releasing the energetic cord that keeps you living in that timeline. A practice. Speak internally to the person's highest self and say, "I release the contract that binds us to pain." Keep your lessons. I take my power. 3. The 17-second focus. Focus on one uplifted intention long enough for it to gain momentum. Not begging, not forcing, just clean, sustained coherence. Start with 17 seconds of a desired reality felt as real, then build it. 4. Breathwork, breakthrough breathing. This is simple and powerful. Inhale slowly through the nose, exhale longer than the inhaler. Relax the jaw. Relax the belly, bring awareness into the center of the chest. Do 5 minutes daily. The point isn't performance. The point is, you are training your nervous system to hold higher voltage. 5. Segment intending. Before you enter a new segment of your day, car ride, work, conversation, pause and set the tone. In this segment, I choose clarity, I choose peace, I choose alignment. You'd be shocked how reality reorganizes when your consciousness leads first. A note on Ascension symptoms. Some people report interrupted sleep, headaches, ringing in the ears, heart flutter sensations during intense transformation. But listen, always take your health seriously. If anything feels concerning or persistent, talk to a medical professional. Spirituality isn't denial. True awakening is wisdom. And now I'll end with the core teaching. The 5th dimension is not somewhere you travel. It is something you remember. You don't earn your divinity. You uncover it. You don't become the light. You remove what blocks it. So tonight, before sleep, place your hand on your heart and whisper, "I return to coherence. I return to truth. I return to the architecture of the real." Because ascension is not escape. Ascension is alignment. May your mind become clear. May your heart become brave. May your life become honest enough to hold your next level. And may the hidden geometry of your destiny reveal itself, step by step, through your own awakening. If you want part 2, comment higher self below. And if you're ready to live from higher alignment, subscribe if you haven't already. Because on this channel, we don't just talk about awakening, we become it. Remember, you're part of the collective unfolding. Until next time, Universal Consciousness, signing out.